What's going on, y'all? It's 2KJ. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate y'all for stopping by, man. March Madness is here. It's one of my favorite times of the year, really, for all of sports. Anything can happen, and I love it so much that I brought the NCAA tournament here to 2K. Now, what I mean by that is I found the 32 best college alumni teams and put them here into the league. So, for example, we've got the Kentucky Wildcats. Here are the 10 best current NBA players who used to play for Kentucky. Then we also have the UCLA Bruins. We've got the Texas Longhorns, so on and so forth, man. We'll get into all the teams here in a second, but just know that this thing took me like 8 hours to set up. It took a long time, man. So if you guys could hit the like button and also subscribe, 85% of y'all are not subscribed. So if you could hit that button, it'd really mean a lot to me, man. But we are essentially going to do a regular season here. We're going to simulate it, and then it is single game elimination in the playoffs. Anything can happen, just like March Madness, and we'll see who is ultimately crowned the winner. It should be a fun one, man, but let's not waste any more time. Let's get into this video.
Let's get it.
Alright, guys, so we're starting off with Kentucky, and this isn't just Kentucky Wildcats, the name. No, we've got the actual jerseys, we've got the court, everything, man. It is all about as close to realistic as I could find. Now, I actually didn't make all these designs. I just went on 2K's server and searched Kentucky Wildcats, and this is what I found. So we've got the Kentucky Wildcats jersey here. It looks super sick. Shout out to everybody who made these designs, man, to help make this possible. And I want to say each team has a maximum of 10 players and a minimum of 8 players. So in an instance like Kentucky, which I think has like 24, 25 alums in the league, yeah, I just picked the 10 best players, and it's mostly just based off of overall. But if, let's say, we get down to this 10 spot here, if they already have 3 centers, I'm not going to give them a 4th one. You know, I'll give them like a point guard, shooting guard, something they need. You guys get the point. It's just best judgment here. So don't get mad at me if some of your favorite players, former Kentucky players, didn't get picked here. It just is what it is, man. So let's go ahead and take a very quick look at this here. They got Anthony Davis, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Devin Booker, De'Aaron Fox, Julius Randle, Bam Adebayo, Karl Anthony Towns, Jamal Murray, Tyrese Maxey, and Tyler Hero. Yeah, this is a really nice team, man. They're probably going to go 3-guard lineup. De'Aaron Fox, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Devin Booker, and then probably, if I had to guess, like Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo. But you also got Cat. Like, they got a lot of options, man. This is definitely the favorite to win it all. As we keep it moving here with the UCLA Bruins, let's take a very quick look at their jerseys. Oh yeah, these are nice, man. These are nice. I can't give enough credit, man, to everybody who made these designs, because I know what it's like, man. I did my rebranded series, which, for those who aren't familiar with that, I rebranded all 30 NBA teams, new logos, cities, jerseys, stadiums, all that stuff. And it took me weeks, man. So again, shout out to everybody for helping put all of this together, because I'm really excited with how this ended up looking. So taking a look at the UCLA Bruins, they got Drew Holiday, Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, Russell Westbrook, Norman Powell, Kevon Looney, Kyle Anderson, Kevin Love, Moses Brown, and Johnny Juzang. Yeah, that is another really, really solid team. Then we're moving on to the Texas Longhorns. Now, man, you know I love my Longhorns. I went to UT, so this has a special place in my heart, man. And seeing Kevin Durant in these Texas threads, jeez, talk to me, but talk to me nice. However, what's not so nice is their backcourt. They're probably starting Corey Joseph and Avery Bradley. A bit weird. They got a lot of bigs, man. They got Kevin Durant, as we mentioned, Jared Allen, Miles Turner. They got Mo Bamba, Jericho Sims, PJ Tucker, LaMarcus Aldridge, Corey Joseph, Avery Bradley, and DJ Augustine, rounding out the rotation. Now we're moving on to the Duke Blue Devils, led by Jason Tatum. Let's take a look at the threads. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Another really clean look. Tatum, Zion Williamson, Kyrie Irving, Brandon Ingram, Paolo Banchero, RJ Barrett, Wendell Carter Jr., Mason Plumlee, Gary Trent Jr., and Tyus Jones. Yeah, this team is nice, man. This team is nice. They got a lot of things you can do here. I would imagine they probably go Kyrie Irving, Brandon Ingram, because he was actually listed as a shooting guard for a little bit. Then you probably go Jason Tatum, Zion, and like Wendell, unless you want to put Zion at the small ball 5 and Paolo at the 4. I mean, they got a lot of options, man. I'm just letting them decide however they want to do it, because they have already a really good roster, man. It doesn't matter what I do. They don't need my help. Looking at the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, let's go ahead and check it out. This team is led by Chris Paul, as we go ahead and peep the jerseys. Now, again, I didn't make these designs, so if these jerseys aren't updated or something like that, or the court isn't, we are going to jump into some games in the playoffs. If you guys see a court and it's outdated or whatever, don't come at me, man. Just know that this is about as good as I could find. So yeah, Chris Paul, John Collins, and this is where we finally get our first average Joe. Now, like I said, Every team has a maximum of 10 players and a minimum of 8 players. Well, not every team has 8 alums in the league right now. So if that's the case, then I just gave them an average Joe player. Whatever position they needed, in this case, Wake Forest needed a small forward. I just gave them a 75 overall, flat 75. Again, average Joe. I just think that's pretty much average. So yeah, I went ahead and gave them a few of them here. They actually needed this guy as well for some shooting guard help, but they also got Ish Smith, they got Jake LaRavia, they got James Johnson, and they have Olivier Sarr, who I know graduated from Kentucky, but Kentucky doesn't need him, man. They definitely don't need him. He wouldn't make the cut for their 10-man roster, so he spent some time at Wake Forest, actually was there before Kentucky, so I went ahead and just put him on Wake Forest because they need the depth. So again, just best judgment on some of this stuff, man. Hopefully y'all don't come at me in the comments. I'm bound to mess some stuff up, but this to me is just the best possible league-wide roster that I could put together. Then we got the Kansas Jayhawks led by Joel Embiid. Let's go ahead and check it out. I like these jerseys a lot, man. I definitely do. They got Joel Embiid, they got Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre Jr., Devontae Graham, Marcus Morris Sr., Ochai Agbaji, Markieff Morris paired up once again with his twin brother. That's cool. You got Christian Braun, Ben McLemore, and Udoka Azubuike. Yeah, man, another really, really good team. Point guard, not so strong with Devontae Graham, but everything else, this team can definitely compete for a championship. Then we got the Arizona Wildcats. Let's go ahead and take a look at the jerseys modeled here by Lauri Markkanen. Yeah, man, I really like how they did that little gradient. I think that's really cool. Also got DeAndre Ayton, Aaron Gordon, Benedict Mathurin, TJ McConnell, Josh Green, Andre Iguodala, the OG, Zeke Nahi, Dalen Terry, and Christian Koloko. Yeah, another really good team. So these are pretty much in order from the best teams to the worst. You guys will see it's going to get rougher and rougher. But for right now, these are all teams that have a legitimate shot. And again, I don't know if I said this, it's single game elimination in the playoffs, man. So anything can happen, just like March Madness. So that'll be super exciting. Hopefully we'll get like a Cinderella run. But looking at the USC Trojans, this is DeMar DeRozan squad. Taking a look at the threads here, it's DeMar DeRozan, Evan Mobley, Nikola Vucevic, Kevin Porter Jr., Onyeka Okongwu, DeAnthony Melton, Dwayne Dedmon, Chimezie Metu, Jordan McLaughlin. You got Taj Gibson. Yeah, another decent team, man. Another very decent team. Probably small forward help is something they need. But actually, we're going to go ahead and just move DeMar DeRozan to that, just so that way they have a starting small forward. Let's go ahead and move on to the Florida Gators. Now, this team is led by Bradley Beal. Taking a look at the jerseys. Yeah, interesting pattern there on the sides, but I just love the colorway of that orange and like navy blue type of vibe, you know what I mean? So you got Bradley Beal, Al Horford, Dorian Finney-Smith, an average Joe. They needed some shooting guard help. They got Trey Mann. They got old man Udonis Haslem. He's going to have to play, man. There's no sitting on the bench on this squad, my boy. Also got Scotty Lewis and Chris Chiozza. Yeah, so I think this is like a 9-man rotation. So we're getting towards that range where some of these are going to be the minimum of an 8-man rotation. Then we got the Villanova Wildcats led by Jalen Brunson. As we take a look at these threads, these shorts are very clean, man. Like these shorts a lot. They also got Mikal Bridges, Sadiq Bey, Josh Hart, Kyle Lowry, Dante DiVincenzo, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, Eric Pascal, Ryan Arcidiacono, and Colin Gillespie. Yeah, so let's go ahead and keep it moving with the Ohio State Buckeyes, led by D'Angelo Russell. Now, I probably could have put LeBron James on here because he said he would have gone to Ohio State had he gone to college, but he didn't. So this is D'Angelo Russell's team. It is D'Angelo Russell's team. He's also got Mike Conley, Jayshawn Tate, Keita Bates-Diop, Malachi Brandon, Dwayne Washington Jr., EJ Liddell, and Micah Potter, who did finish his time at Wisconsin, kind of similar to Olivier Sarr, but I'm pretty sure he played at Ohio State. I might get some of this wrong, man. There was so much sorting through like rosters and all of this stuff in order to get this thing done, man. So again, I apologize if some of this is inaccurate, but when I was working on this thing, man, it was like 4 or 5 a.m. So I was just ready for it to end. So if I make some mistakes, let me live in the comments. We got the Gonzaga Bulldogs up next. This team is led by Domantas Sabonis. Yeah, love these jerseys. They're just very simple, very clean. Very interesting that they have that Bulldog logo on the back instead of the front of the shorts. I think that's interesting, but still a nice design. Domantas Sabonis, Kelly Olynyk, Brandon Clark, Chet Holmgren, Zach Collins. It's a lot of bigs. But they also got Jalen Suggs, Corey Kispert, Rui Hachimura, Andrew Nembhard, and Joel Ayayi. Yeah, don't know all of these players. Like Ayayi, he went undrafted. But pretty much if they were here in 2K, I put them on the team, man. You know what I mean? So not the best player, 68 overall, but there's going to be a few of those. Again, just trying to keep it as accurate as possible. Then we got the Washington Huskies. Let's go ahead and take a look at this squad, man, or at least the jerseys here. This team is led by DeJounte Murray. They also have Markelle Fultz, Jaden McDaniels, Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart. They got Jalen Noel, Matisse Thybulle, Terrence Ross, Isaiah Thomas, IT is back. And you also got Marquise Chris and Justin Holiday. Keeping it moving with the Michigan Wolverines, Jordan Poole's team. Yeah, he is no longer in the shadow of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, all them boys. He's got his own squad here. Back in college with the Michigan Wolverines, had that really iconic shot. I think it was over Houston, right? In the NCAA tournament. So yeah, that was really cool. And now hopefully he'll be able to recreate that magic here in this simulation. Also got Franz Wagner and Mo Wagner back together, although actually they play together on the Magic right now, but you know what I mean. They also got Tim Hardaway Jr., Karis LeVert, Duncan Robinson, Isaiah Livers. You got Trey Burke, man, another guy, another Michigan player who has some crazy NCAA tournament history, man. One of the more iconic players to suit up for sure. So that'll be exciting to see what he does, even though it's only a 71 overall. Also got Musa Diabite and Chandi Brown rounding out the rotation. Moving on to the Florida State Seminoles, led by Scotty Barnes. As we see the threads, this one looks pretty much like the real jerseys, man. Yeah, these are super clean. I love the detail on the side. Again, logo on the back of the shorts is a bit weird, but still, that side pattern I think is really fire. Again, man, shout out to everybody who made these designs, because I know how much work goes into it, like I said, with my rebranded series. So I really appreciate y'all, man. I can't give enough credit. We got Scotty Barnes, Devin Vassell, Jonathan Isaac, Terrence Mann, Patrick Williams, Malik Beasley, Trent Forrest, Mfiondu Kabengele, John Butler, also there in the mix, rounding out the rotation. The Virginia Cavaliers, led by Malcolm Brogdon. Let's go ahead and peep the threads. Now, I'm not a big fan of that like wishbone type on the neck. I don't know, man. The Warriors have that. I'm a Warriors fan, and I'm just not a big fan of it, but it is what it is. You got Malcolm Brogdon, DeAndre Hunter, Trey Murphy, Joe Harris, Ty Jerome, Sam Hauser, Anthony Gill, who I think spent some time somewhere else. But again, best judgment, they needed him, so it is what it is. Mamadou Diakite and Jay Huff rounding out the rotation. Now we're going to LSU, where the best player is Tari Eason. That's a little bit concerning. Some of these teams don't really have that star power, but this is still a pretty solid team, as we will see here. I love the purple there, man. It almost looks like it's reflective. Yeah, that's super clean. Even though it doesn't have star power, this team pretty much has a solid starting lineup. They're probably rolling with Ben Simmons at the 1 out of necessity, because they don't have any other guards really. But that's fine. You know, it is what it is. They got Tari Eason, Naz Reid, Cam Thomas will get every opportunity to shoot the ball. That's nice. You got Trendon Wofford, Ben Simmons, like we mentioned, Skylar Mays, Garrett Temple, Javonte Smart, Darius Days, also in the mix. So moving on to the Auburn Tigers. Now this team I think was the last team to make the cut, because there were a few other teams I was thinking about, man. And while we're at it, I might as well just go ahead and kind of like the selection committee in real life for the NCAA tournament, we're going to reveal the first 4 teams that missed the cut for this whole thing. So Tennessee was in the mix. They had Tobias Harris, Josh Richardson, Grant Williams. I don't know, just wasn't a team that had star power, and they also really didn't have a whole lot else outside of that, so I didn't roll with them. We also got the Baylor Bears, didn't make the cut. Jeremy Sochan, their best player, at 79 overall, so similar reasoning. They had like Davion Mitchell, guys like that, but nothing crazy. The Maryland Tarpons, Kevin Huerter, and then a bunch of centers, essentially. I guess Aaron Wiggins also didn't make the cut. And then the Syracuse Orange, man, this one hurt. I wanted to put Melo in here, man. I wanted to, but his best teammate was Jeremy Grant and pretty much nothing else. So I wasn't able to do it, man. I just couldn't pull myself to do it. So yeah, Auburn was probably the last team to make the cut here, one of them. As we see, Walker Kessler is modeling the threads here. Yes, sir. Taking a look at the squad, he's also got Isaac Okoro, he's got Jabari Smith Jr., an average Joe here, Chuma Okeke, Sharif Cooper, JT Thor, Jared Harper. That is rounding out the rotation. I mean, they pretty much have a starting lineup. You know, they've got a 1, they've got a 2, a 3 right here, a 4, and a 5. So I was like, you know what, man, it's already basically a team, so we're just gonna go ahead and put them in. So they made the cut over some of these other squads. Again, don't come at me, man. I use my best judgment. It is what it is. As we move on to the Memphis Tigers, this team is led by Jalen Duren, Yes, sir. Rocking the Memphis Threads. Like these for sure. As we keep this moving here. Actually, teammates with James Wiseman again, just like how they are in real life. I didn't even really make that connection in my head when the trade happened in real life, but yeah, they're both from Memphis, or they both played in Memphis different times, but now they're back here together. So Precious Achiuwa, yep, Wiseman, Derrick Rose, man, back in the mix. I'm excited to see what he does. You got a couple average Joe players here. You've got Will Barton, you got Josh Minot, and that is it for the Tigers. Moving on to the Louisville Cardinals. This team is led by Donovan Mitchell. Yes, sir, the 4-5. Bringing it back here. I love these shorts, man. Just really vintage looking. That old school logo, which I think is also at half court here for their court design. So hopefully we get to see that. Again, we're going to be jumping into any game that is close in the tournament because it's just single elimination. So we're going to simulate each one of them game by game. I think that'll be really fun, especially if you get to jump in and see all the stadiums, jerseys, stuff like that. Now, I do have home and away jerseys for all of these. I forgot to mention that, but I guess the default is you guys just see the home ones when I show this preview. But yes, we do have home and away, so it won't look weird. It won't be all white whenever they play each other. Also got Terry Rozier, you got Montrezl Harrell, Jordan Nwora, Damian Lee, Gorgie Jang, David Johnson, and Carlick Jones rounding out the rotation. Moving on to the Texas A&M Aggies, it is Chris Middleton squad. Let's go ahead and check it out here as we see the jerseys. I'm not going to compliment them because I'm a UT fan, but it is what it is. They also got Robert Williams III. They got Alex Caruso. They got a pair of average Joe guys. They got Daniel House, DeAndre Jordan, Quentin Jackson rounding out the rotation. So moving on to the Marquette Golden Eagles. This team is led by Jimmy Butler. I'm excited to see what he's able to do, and these are one of the sickest threads here. Shout out to the guy who made this because I love that he was able to get that pattern up top and also at the bottom. Yeah, these are really cool, man. It's a cool design. So Jimmy Butler, you got an average Joe player who is actually a 76 overall. He should be a 75. Again, there's going to be some mistakes, guys, but that's how I do it here. Just knocking that down to a 75. And yeah, okay, I was going to say, did he go up to an 80? But no, that's his layup rating. Yeah, so we got Jimmy Butler, we got Jay Crowder, average Joe, another average Joe at center that they needed. Wesley Matthews, Juan Toscano Anderson, Jamal Cain, and Justin Lewis closing things out. Next up, we got the UConn Huskies, and yes, it says UCNN because apparently con is an inappropriate word according to 2K servers, so you got to put UCNN. You can't even do Connecticut because that also has it. It's just weird. So Andre Drummond, you got an average Joe guy, a 76, but that's just because I guess his morale is high. He's ecstatic, so it'll go back down to a 75. I'm gonna leave it as is. Got another one of them boys. Then you got Rudy Gay, Kemba Walker, man. Hopefully he will be able to recreate some magic himself. He's got a really good background, a history with the NCAA tournament. Then you got Jeremy Lamb, you got James Bouknight, you got Tyrese Martin also in the mix. Did I show their jerseys? I don't think I did. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Yep, very clean, very clean. Andre Drummond rocking the Jordan 10s. That's interesting. Moving on to the next team, it's the Indiana Hoosiers. This team is led by OG Anunoby. Again, not the biggest name, but I think they have a really solid squad just in terms of depth. What is that on the back of their shorts? Not a big fan of that. I'm just going to put it that way. That's interesting. They also got Thomas Bryant. They got Victor Oladipo. They've got Eric Gordon. They got an average Joe player, Cody Zeller, Romeo Langford, and Noah Vonleh closing it up. Then we got the Iowa State Cyclones. This team is a little bit wonky. They have a three-guard lineup similar to the, who was it? Was it the Kentucky Wildcats? Yeah. So they got Monte Morris, Tyrese Halliburton, and Talen Horton-Tucker is their three-guard lineup. Let's go ahead and take a very quick look at the threads here for Iowa State. Love this pattern on the sides. Yeah, man, this is a really cool design as well. Again, shout out to everybody for helping put this together. Then you got an average Joe player. You got Georges Niang. You've got Matt Thomas, Abdul Nader. You've got Lindell Wigington. Yeah, that is rounding out the rotation for the Iowa State Cyclones. We're almost at the end here. We got the Vanderbilt Commodores. This team is led by Darius Garland. Low-key carried in terms of my decision process on whether to keep them or not. Yeah, it's Darius Garland, man. I wanted to see him here in the tournament. Also got Aaron Nesmith, an average Joe player. You got Luke Cornett, Damian Jones. You got Saban Lee, Matt Ryan, Scottie Pippen Jr., another person I'm interested in seeing with an expanded role. So that's a look at Vandy. Next up, we got UNC, man. The North Carolina Tar Heels led by Harrison Barnes. Not a big name for your number one option, but they got a lot of depth, man. They just have a lot of very solid players. They did reach that max of 10 players on their roster, so they're deep. Yeah, they got Harrison Barnes, Cam Johnson, Cole Anthony, Nasir Little, Reggie Bullock, Kobe White, Tony Bradley, Day'Ron Sharpe, Danny Green, and a legend, Wayne Ellington. Yeah, this is a team that just pretty much has a bunch of solid players, man. So we'll see what they're able to do in the tournament. If they make it, of course, they got to make the playoffs. Then we got the Arkansas Razorbacks. This team is led by Bobby Portis. Let's go ahead and take a very quick look. The shades, man, I love it. I see it every time, and it just brings a smile to my face. Yeah, Bobby Portis Jr., you got Isaiah Joe, not Average Joe. This is Isaiah. Also got Daniel Gafford, Patrick Beverly, Jalen Williams, Jay Will, as they call him. You got Joe Johnson, you got Moses Moody, you got Mason Jones, Stanley Umude, and that is the last guy in the rotation. I think they got a 10-man. I'm pretty sure they do, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 man. Still really good. Then you got the Oklahoma Sooners. This team is led by Trae Young. Let's take a very quick look at the jerseys. Yes, sir. Here it is. And taking a look at the roster now, they also got Buddy Hield, Austin Reeves. They got a couple Average Joe guys, man. They only had 5 players. Again, we're getting towards the end of this here, as I think we only have like 3 or 4 teams left. So yeah, some of these teams needed some help, man. But they also got Blake Griffin, and then they have Alondes Williams, who finished his career at Wake Forest, but OU needed some players, and he played for them before he went to Wake Forest. So we put him here. Again, best judgment on some of this stuff. Then you got Chris Boucher leading the Oregon Ducks. Let's go ahead and take a very quick look at the jerseys. Yeah, these are nice, man. These are very nice. I just love the colors, the colorway for Oregon. You also got Bol. Hopefully he will have a big run in the tournament. That'd be really cool to see. You also got Dylan Brooks, Chris Duarte. You got Troy Brown Jr., Eugene Amor-Uri. You got Peyton Pritchard, Jordan Bell, Lewis King, Tyler Dorsey. They pretty much filled out a 10-man rotation, I think. So that's nice to see. You got the Alabama Crimson Tide led by Colin Sexton. Let's take a very quick look at the jerseys. Yes, sir. Again, that logo on the back, I don't know why it bothers me, but it does. But whatever. You got Colin Sexton, Herb Jones, Jamichael Green. You got Kira Lewis Jr., Josh Primo. Not a big fan of this, but just keeping it accurate, sorting it out. Yeah, we're going to move on. JD Davison, you got Keon Ellis, Braxton Key also here in the mix. So moving on to the Michigan State Spartans, and yeah, this is the last team. Our 32nd and final team is the Spartans. They are led by Jaren Jackson Jr. Actually, they got a pretty nice squad here, man, for the 32nd team. As we take a quick look, I love that pattern on the side. I wish they would have done it on both sides here, but it is what it is. Yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr., you got Draymond Green, Miles Bridges, another guy. Not really happy to have him here, but it is what it is, keeping it accurate. Then you got Xavier Tillman, you got Gary Harris, Max Christie, Cassius Winston, and Aaron Henry rounding out the rotation, man. And that is it for all 32 teams, guys. Again, this took me so long. I stayed up until like 5 a.m. doing this last night. And actually, when I woke up this morning, it didn't save all of it because I guess late at night, 2K servers turned off. So the autosave also turned off. So I had to wake up this morning and do more stuff, man. It was a whole process, man. It was a whole process. So this video is coming out late, by the way. Then yeah, that's why. So yeah, either way, man, please leave a like and subscribe, show some love, because I am so excited as we go ahead and simulate this season. We're just going to rush through this regular season. I don't really care about it. And then we're going to see which teams end up making the tournament where things really get interesting. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so Trae Young wins MVP. That boy was averaging 39 and 9. Yeah, he was in his bag. Jalen Duren wins Rookie of the Year for Memphis. Gorgie Jang, 6th Man of the Year for Louisville. Joel Embiid, Defensive Player of the Year for Kansas. Cole Anthony, Most Improved for UNC. And JB Bickerstaff, I don't know whose team that is. It's for Duke. Yeah, makes sense. 76 and 6. We're going to take a look at all the records right now, man. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at the All-NBA teams. It was also Donovan Mitchell for Louisville, Jimmy Butler for Marquette, KD for Texas, and Joel for Kansas. In addition to Trae Young making All-NBA first team. For All-NBA second team, it's Bradley Beal from Florida. It's Chris Paul from Wake Forest. It is Texas A&M's Chris Middleton, Duke's Jason Tatum, and then Gonzaga's Domantas Sabonis. All-NBA third team. I'm not going to do this whole player by player. You guys can see it here. Yeah, as we take a very quick look at this here, all defensive teams. Here's a very quick look at this as well. Yep, there it is. The rookie teams, what is that looking like? An average Joe player actually made it. That's pretty funny. And actually, they made all of the all rookie second team, which is also interesting. Let's go ahead and take a very quick look at the standings. It is the Duke Blue Devils, 76-6, man. They were dominant. The Kentucky Wildcats, 73-9, also here as well. Top of the Western Conference is the UCLA Bruins, 58-24, tied with the Arizona Wildcats. Who are the worst teams, man? That's what I want to know. Wake Forest, 16-66. Yeah, that makes sense. Not a great team. Not a great team. UConn also in the mix down there. I'm really disappointed. I wanted to see some Kemba Walker. Then as we take a look at this in the Western Conference, it's Iowa State. That's a little bit surprising, man. I thought they had a decent squad, even had an all-rookie guy, but apparently it wasn't enough. Then you got Alabama, 19-63. Yeah, I thought they'd be a little bit better as well. But I guess it's a stacked league right now, man. It really is. So let's go ahead and simulate the play-in here, as we're just going to go game by game, man. Let's go ahead and get into this thing here. So we're going to start off with the Texas A&M Aggies versus the Washington Huskies. Let's go ahead and simcast this game, right? We're going to do it like that. And if it's a close game, we will jump in, man. It's that simple, as it's Texas A&M leading the way. Oh, we might have our first close game right off rip, bro. Never mind. It's Texas A&M blowing them boys out. So they advance. Then we got LSU versus Arkansas. Let's go ahead and do the same thing here, man. Let's do the same thing. The Razorbacks versus the Tigers. Who will prevail? As it's looking like it might be close. It might be close, boys. We might have our first game. Oh, no. If it's down to like within a minute left, man. Okay, there. Yep. No, it's not close enough. We're going to continue this. Yeah, there we go. All right, so it is Arkansas that ends up winning it. And now we're going to go Washington versus Arkansas. As I didn't even realize I was simulating those other games. Yeah, this might not go perfectly, guys. I'm kind of winging it at this point. And I definitely can't restart anything because this took me so long to set up. But yeah, it's Washington blowing out, or getting blown out by Arkansas, I should say. So now we have a pretty good idea of the bracket, but we do still have some more games here. We've got Marquette versus Michigan State. So let's go ahead and simulate this game just with Simcast. Yep. And let's see, man. This is Jaren Jackson Jr. and them versus Jimmy Butler and them. As we got a close one. We got a close one here, boys. Yep. Come on, stay close, please. I really want to jump into a game. Come on. Like a minute 30, 2 minutes left. It's not going to be close. Yeah, it is the Michigan State Spartans who prevail. And just like that, we have our bracket, boys. We have all 16 teams. This is the Sweet 16 right here, as it's UCLA versus Arkansas, which I guess is what we'll start off with, right? Let's go ahead and do that here. Let's see. The first game is actually Tar Heels and Trojans. That's a bit weird. Let's go ahead and do that. Then we're going to jump in here for UNC versus USC. Let's go ahead and see if we get a close one, man. I really want to jump into this stuff. I really do. And maybe we'll get that here. Come on. Keep it close. Keep it close with like 2 minutes left. Nope. It is USC that comes roaring back and wins the game. Let's go ahead and see. The next game is, let's see, that would be the Cardinals. That's Louisville versus Texas. Hey, man, I'm rooting for Texas, bro. Normally, I'm unbiased here, but guys, I'm a Texas alum. It's March Madness time. I think they can make a run in real life, honestly. Let's go ahead and see if they can make one here. No, guys, not like this. Not like this. It actually got close down the stretch, but Louisville prevails. All right, what is our next game here? Our next game is going to be Florida State and Kansas, man. Where y'all at? There we are. That is the 3-6 matchup. Let's go ahead and simcast this thing. Come on, boys. Give me a close game, please. Yep, it's back and forth. This right here. This is going to be the one. Yes, sir. With like a minute 30 left is when we're going to pause this thing, right? Okay, yep, it's back and forth. There we go. A minute left. It is a 3-point game. I should have jumped in earlier, but I'm excited. As you guys know, we are neutral here. We don't really care about any of this, especially now that Texas is eliminated. But yeah, a minute left. Can Kansas hold on as we take a look at Allen Fieldhouse? This is so cool, man. This is so cool. It's March Madness, baby. They get it down low to Wiggins. Can he finish it? No, Wiggins! Not like this. And Scotty Barnes gets the rebound. They got to run this thing, man. They got time for a 2-for-1. Jonathan Isaac finds Malik Beasley down low. What a find. Dropping a dime. Jonathan Isaac to Malik Beasley. That was clutch, man. And right in time for a 2-for-1. And actually, Kansas still has enough time to get a 2-for-1 here, man. If they play their cards right. Andrew Wiggins with the ball. He was a star at Kansas, man. Possibly the next LeBron is what they were calling him. Maple Jordan. And he will draw the foul. All right, that is a Cabin Jelly. Mafondu, I think, is his first name. I'm not going to pretend like I know all these guys. Yes, call me a casual if you want. That's fine. Andrew Wiggins with the free throws. First one's up and no good. And Florida State might have a chance to win this game on a buzzer beater. How insane would that be? Oh, he choked. He choked. Are we going to get some March Madness, baby? The shot clock is not turned off, but still, this would be insane. Devin Vassell with the ball. Who is he going to find? He's looking for Terrence Mann there. No, he's not. What's he going to do, man? Rolling off that screen. Please don't pull that. That's not a good look. That's not a good look, Devin. You got to pass the ball, Devin. Pass the ball. That's actually a good look. No, but there it is. Patrick Williams. Pat Will puts Florida State on top with 5.5 seconds left. Are you not entertained? Can Kansas respond, man? This would be an upset. This would be an upset if the Kansas Jayhawks go out in the first round, man. Come on, here we go. Devontae Graham with the ball. 3 seconds left. He's got to put something up. He's got to put it up. And it's no good. It rimmed out. Florida State survives. Kelly Oubre dropping to his knees. I feel you, man. What a shocker in the first round as we have our first upset. Joel Embiid 21, 11, and 5, but it wasn't enough. Did he foul out? He did, man. That is tough. That is tough. Scotty Barnes 27 and 9 led the way. What a game, man. This is what we are doing, man. This is what we live for here, is some excitement here in the tournament. Let's go ahead and see what the next game is, as it is OU and Gonzaga. All right, man. Let's go ahead and see what happens here. Can the Sooners escape? And actually, yeah, I was about to say, I think the Bulldogs are better, man, and they're about to blow them away. Yeah. Yep. All right. So it is Gonzaga that wins that game. What do we have left here? We've got UCLA and Arkansas. No, it's the Wildcats and Wildcats. Where is that? That is Kentucky and Villanova, man. There are so many Wildcats. It's ridiculous. So let's go ahead and simcast this one, man. Let's see what happens between Villanova and Kentucky. This will be an upset. If Villanova can pull it off, no way. No way. Are we going to get a close game down the stretch? Guys, this would be a crazy upset, but Kentucky's trying to pull away. Can they do it? Make it close. Make it close to like a minute 13. It's not close enough, man. It's not close enough. Yeah. Kentucky is going to escape. A 5-point win over Villanova is crazy, man. That's definitely crazy. As we got Michigan State versus Duke now. This would be another upset if Michigan State can pull it off. And they're kind of hanging around, but yeah, they're not anymore. They're not. Duke is going to win this one and advance. What do we have left? We have UCLA and Arkansas. Is that the next game? It's not. It's the Aggies and the Wildcats, man. Arizona and Texas A&M. Let's get into it. Who is going to win? As A&M gets off to a good start here. They win the first quarter. Back and forth. Back and forth. We might be jumping in, boys. If it gets to like a minute 30, you guys know the deal. We are going to jump into this thing. Come on, a little bit more. Oh, no. It's pulling away. It's pulling away. Yeah. It ends up being Texas A&M winning that thing by 1 point. It actually got a little bit closer. But yeah, it wasn't close in like with 2 minutes left or whatever. So now it is UCLA versus Arkansas closing out a very interesting first round here as Arkansas is off to a good start. This will be an upset if the Razorbacks can beat the Bruins, and it looks like they will. Unless they blow it. Unless they blow it, it goes into OT. Oh, man, we're here for this. We are here for this, man. Come on, get us to like a minute 30 and keep it close, please. There we go. That's all I need. It's a 4-point game. We will take that. Can UCLA avoid the upset? Zach LaVine with the ball here. They forced OT, man. They were the ones trailing, and they made a crazy comeback. They got a 4-point lead. LaVine, the step back. Can't get it to go down. And that's Jay Will with the board. Gets to the Patrick Beverly. They got to push it, man. Time is not fully against them. I mean, a minute 15 is still plenty of time in a 2-possession game, but they kind of need to get a move on, man. You can't just be standing here, Pat Bev. Let's go. There we go. Yup, right there. You got the drop down low. Why, Pat Bev? Why? That is not the shot that you want. Actually, that's a decent look. Pat Bev. No. No, man. I'm rooting for the upsets at this point. If Texas is out, I'm rooting for the upsets. As it's Zach LaVine, Euro. Okay, they're still alive. They can get a 2-for-1, man. They can get a 2-for-1. Moses Moody with the ball. Is he going to find somebody? He finds Pat Bev. All right, what's he going to do, man? What's he going to do? You got to be quicker this time, man. 35 seconds. Let's go, boys. Isaiah Joe, not average Joe. Come on, what's he going to do? There's the kick out to Pat Bev. Yup, it's wide open. Is he going to miss 2 in a row? He will. Pat Bev, and they're going to foul. That is going to do it, I think, for us here. Let's go ahead and sim to the end of this thing. And let's go ahead and see who ends up winning this. As Zach LaVine had 39. Yeah, it ended up being the Arkansas Razorbacks who get eliminated. That is tough, man. That is tough. But now we are set for the second round. What's going to be the first game for the Elite Eight? Let's go ahead and find out here. The Aggies and the Seminoles. All right, so Florida State, Texas A&M. It's a 6-7 matchup. So we already have two, I guess, quote-unquote Cinderella teams here. Let's go ahead and see which team will advance to, what is this, the Final Four? Yeah, a lot on the line here, man, as it is a blowout so far. Florida State is going to run away with it. The Seminoles are heading to the Final Four, but who will they be going up against? Let's go ahead and see. We got to get the USC and Arizona game. I'm sorry, not Arizona. Kentucky game out of the way. There's so many Wildcats, man. Way too many Wildcats. That's my big complaint for college basketball. But it's Kentucky right now. Can USC come back and pull off the upset? Oh, they're here. They're here. Come on now. Come on now. Are they going to do it? Is Kentucky going to go down? Oh, man. We're not even going to have to jump in. I think they've done it. USC has upset Kentucky. What an upset, man. Yes, they're the 3 seed, but still, this Kentucky team is insane. Look at this squad, bro. Their worst player is Tyler Hero. Who beat him? DeMar DeRozan, a 48-point game. Kevin Porter Jr., 25 and 13. DeAnthony Melton, Nikola Vucevic. The Trojans are here. Alrighty, man. Let's go ahead and see what the next game is. It's going to be the Bulldogs versus the Bruins. Alrighty. UCLA and Gonzaga. Who is going to advance to the Final Four? Gonzaga's off to a nice start. They win that first quarter, dominated that first quarter. They also win the second quarter. Oh, but here's a little comeback by the Bruins. Can they come back? Time is running out. And it is completely run out on their season. Gonzaga advances to the Final Four. And now it's time to see which team will be the last squad to make that Final Four. Is it going to be Louisville or Duke? Two of the better teams for sure in the league. Duke's off to a good start. Can Louisville fight back? It doesn't look like they can. And that is a high-scoring game. Oh, man. Chill, bro. 176 to 145. Hey, them boys were hooping. Them boys were hooping. I feel like Donovan Mitchell had a crazy game. 55, 6, and 5. I was right. Yeah, that is insane. That's definitely insane. So the Final Four is Gonzaga and Florida State and Duke and USC. Let's go ahead and see which game is first. It's USC and Duke, man. Alrighty. Duke is just dominating out the gates. Yeah, I don't think people are going to beat Duke, man. I don't think anyone's going to. Then again, I didn't think anybody would beat Kentucky, and USC did it. The clock has struck on USC season, and now we move on to this game against Gonzaga, or between Gonzaga and Florida State. Let's go ahead and see who's advancing to the finals to go up against Duke. Gonzaga's off to a good start, man. They win this game. They're a mid-major program technically, but don't tell them that. Gonzaga is hooping, and they are going to go to the NBA Finals, or I guess, what is it, NCAA Championship? I don't know what you want to call it. But either way, Gonzaga, Duke, let's get it, man. We're going to simcast this thing, and I'm praying for a close game. Oh, Gonzaga's off to a good start. Gonzaga's off to a good start. Can they pull off the upset? Duke's trying to pull away. That's a dominant quarter by them. Come on, man. I want a close game, but we're not going to get it. The Duke Blue Devils have done it. Kyrie Irving, 21 points, 6 assists, 4 steals. Hooping. Didn't actually make a 3-point shot, but still, let's go ahead and see. Zion Williamson also did his thing. Yeah, man, it makes sense that this team won. This team is filthy. Actually, Brandon Ingram played horribly. Only 22 minutes. That's really weird. I'm not sure what that's all about. But what about the Bulldogs? Jalen Suggs did his best, man. 24 and 5. Domantas Sabonis, 19 and 14. But it was not enough to prevent Duke from winning the championship, man. This video was a lot of fun. Now, again, this took me like 8 hours of putting together, man. So I really appreciate you guys watching this. If you did enjoy the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you haven't already. Because again, 85% of y'all watching these videos are not subscribed, man. What are you doing? Hit that button, please. Show some love as I continue to try to get this channel off its feet. But either way, you know your boy is on his grind. So thank you guys so much. This has been 2KJ. Blessings.